So, 2021, a year full of ups and downs. In this video today, I'm gonna reflect on 2021. Just a fair warning, some of the things I talk about here might be a little emotionally depressing, so keep that in mind, please. Happy soon-to-be New Year, LFZ Squad! Wow. One of my goals next year, update the LFZ Squad intro and persona. I think you should get a refreshed version of that sometime soon, because I'll admit, using the same intro over and over again is getting a bit stale, and I'm also getting tired of the outro of most of my videos myself. Before I get into this video, let me introduce who I'm drawing. I'm drawing Izuku Midoriya, better known as Deku, from My Hero Academia, or Boku no Hero Academia, which, if you haven't heard of by now, you are probably living under a rock, my guy. So, 2021. What a year full of crazy shit both online and offline. As for my experiences this year in general, to quote MCR's Disenchanted, I hate the ending myself, but it started with an alright scene. Because the highs of this year, they were really good for me, but the bads of this year, which happened around the end, were really bad. I believe that it's best that we start with the positives first. So, what have I achieved this year in chronological order? Well, in January, I celebrated the 5 years of my first series, Quest of Blue Fire, and made an opening for Aventia to prepare for the start of Aventia as a series. In February, I started to play a lot of D&D for the first time and I became a bit of an addict. March, I got accepted into college and made preparations for it then and there. April, I turned 18, thus making me into an adult, and from then on, I started to make a whole lot of more YouTube content. May, I got 100 followers on my Instagram. Also started an obsession with Naruto. June, I graduated high school. Woohoo! July was pretty much a month of just vibing, though I did hang out with the boys quite a bit. August was also a month of just vibing, though around the end of it, that's when I moved into college. September, college begins. October, got my Skylanders fan art recognized by the developers for the 10th anniversary of the first game. November and December was essentially just college stuff. Nothing really special happened there. So, in terms of the good stuff for this year, the highs were really high! I was somewhat happier, at least at the start, than I was in 2020. Whereas 2020 me was just really lazy and feeling lonely for the most part, 2021 me was a bit of an improvement. I was a bit more sociable, I went outside a lot more, COVID restrictions were starting to be lifted, plus getting vaccinated helped a lot too, and I had a lot of art growth yet again, and I was even recognized by some of my biggest inspirations. In that regard, it was good. However, it's time to talk about the lows, and when I talk about them, oh my, they were bad. I'd prefer not to get into too much detail as this is still an ongoing situation, and something a little bit personal and it should be dealt with as such, but I'm still gonna talk about it here. At some point during the year, I started to make a lot of mistakes and I did some stupid stuff, I'm going to admit. Now the reason that I made some of these mistakes were that I had a compromised sense of judgment. And what compromised this sense of judgment, you may ask? Well, to be honest, I think it was multiple factors that caused my mental health to get screwed up without me realizing it. The fact that I spent a lot of time isolated indoors in front of a screen thanks to the still ongoing pandemic, which honestly, before COVID, it sounded to me like it would be a dream. Now I realize it's not as fun as I thought it would be. Another factor that I think contributed to it was the fact that I started college and how it's a whole new world that I have to get used to, for I'm living away from home for the first time and the difficulty and effort I would have to put in some of my college classes might have started to affect me a little bit. I'm not trying to excuse my actions, I definitely know that they weren't good decisions. So what were these mistakes that I had made as a result of my messed up judgment? Well, this is not easy for me to talk about, but at some point I started becoming an asshole and a bit of a troll, and I kinda went a little too far with my trolling at times. I don't want to get into too much detail as of right now, but I will say this on the matter. I definitely regret all of these mistakes, and it's something that'll haunt me for the rest of my life, because I lost a lot of friends due to my royal fuck-ups this year. November and December were probably my worst months this year, because they were a time where I was crying daily about how I lost people, and it just really hurt me. And if any one of them is watching, the people that I've hurt, or the friends that I've lost, or anyone who is confused on this whole situation, I apologize from the bottom of my heart. I should have known better than to do some of the stuff that I did. Some people may accept me again, others may not, but there is at least one thing I will say about these events. They're acting as a reminder for me to reflect on my past and always strive for improvement, because I can become a better person than what I was in 2021 with some effort, and I will swear right now, I'm gonna become the best version of myself in the future no matter what it takes. The road to improvement will be hard, and I might not be able to get the people I've lost back, but I'll continue to work on myself throughout it all, even if I never get them back. To tie into that point, I will announce this right here, right now. I'm giving up trolling. It's not fun, and it's caused people to get driven away from me. It seems fun at first glance, but it's not a fun thing to make people upset. And even though I have done it in the past, the whole Gilgrunt situation, in retrospect, that was not a very good idea. People getting uncomfortable and stuff, that's what the whole opposite of what the LFZ squad is about, and I sort of violated my own squad code, definitely. So yeah, for a recap, this year was great in the beginning, but around the end, it became one of my worst years ever. I will recover from this though, and there's no turning back and giving up on my desire to improve myself, because I want to live happily. And with that all said, that's it for this video, guys. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time, LFZ Squad. Dear God, I need to phase that ending out as well.